All right, got Michigan State this week. Be our first road game. We'll take off on Friday. Leave here around 11:30. Stop around midway there, get out, walk around a little bit, and then arrive at the hotel at 5 o'clock and have dinner and go through some formation tape, do some stuff like that, and then get up Saturday, get ready to play a ball game. As you guys know, Michigan State's a really good football team. I played them 2 years ago. It's a great environment up there. Significant thing that stands out is it's a well-coached football team. Coach D'Antonio's done an outstanding job there with their program. And they play great football. They got good players and good coaches, so we'll have our hands full, and we look forward to the trip.
How important for this program is a game like this to perform well in it?
I think it's very important. We're not going to have too many of these opportunities left against Big Ten teams, and it's part of maybe what's going on, and it's a once-in-a-life opportunity for some kids that are from the state of Michigan. We got some of those guys on our team, and just kids in general to have a chance to play in in that arena. There's some great arenas in the Big Ten Conference, and Michigan State's one of those arenas.
How big and how do you use last year's win against Pitt to help you guys believe you can win this year?
Well, every year is a different year, and every year you're a different football team. And, we've kind of taken the approach, we're going to continue to take games one at a time, regardless of who we play. Try to play well, keep improving every week. And, that's pretty much been our approach. We've been in big games before. Kurt's first game was at Penn State, 110,000, and second game was obviously the second year was the money game was Michigan State, and last year was Heinz Field. So, those are fun environments. It's a good experience.
How do you prepare for something like this when their leading scorer is a defensive end?
They got a really good defense, and statistically, it obviously shows up on paper, but on film, it shows up even more. They got a really good defense. On third down, I think they're 85%. That's unheard of in college football. So they're pretty stout. They're physical group over there. And Coach D'Antonio's a defensive guy. I wouldn't expect anything less. They're going to play good defense, and that's the way it's going to be.
Can you talk about Drummond a little bit, being a local guy?
He's a heck of a football player. I think the biggest compliment you could probably give to Michigan State is the development of him. In high school, I thought he was a really good football player. But what they've done with him as far as developing his body and coaching him and making him a better football player, that's a compliment to their strength staff and to their coaching staff, to their nutrition program that they have in place for guys to develop. And that's what you want to have happen in your program, is you want players to develop, and that's what shows up with him.
Coach, on their depth chart, they have 4 quarterbacks, and it says the order in between all of them. Do you have someone you're focused on, or do you prepare?
Well, I think you have to look at the staff. Obviously, Coach Bowman joined the staff, so you see a lot of the quarterback run game type stuff that they did at Ohio State. I'm obviously familiar with that from being at Illinois. And we do some of those things too. So, but I would expect them to try to be running the quarterback around a little bit. And, I think you got to always be conscious of the quarterback running, especially when it's a crucial time of the game and you need to play. It seems to be an equalizer, and I wouldn't expect anything less. I expect them to run the quarterback and also their normal offense, but they're going to run the quarterback.
With that being said, being a Big Ten school, is Kurt the best quarterback on the field?
Oh, I'm not the one to judge that. I think we'll have to wait till after the ball game to see who the best quarterback is. We'll let the play speak for itself.
I should say going into the game.
Yeah, we'll wait and see after. One game at a time.
That Michigan State game, that's your second year. Kurt talked about it. That was his second year as a quarterback, your second year as a head coach. How have you grown since that game as a coach and seen this team grow?
Well, I've had a lot to learn myself, you know what I mean? I have a tendency to be very emotional and passionate, and have a tendency to get upset and frustrated over silly things, and you got to kind of let things roll off your back a little bit. But we were a really young football team then. I mean, when you have a really young football team, a lot of those guys that were freshmen and sophomores in that game are still out there on that field. Stubbs and Watts and those guys, Disher, Kurt Hess, so Tevin, Travis, we're older, we're more mature, and we have a better expectation of what that environment will be like.
Can you touch on Jim Delaney comparing FCS schools to junior varsity, like high school and junior varsity?
Yeah, I guess, they always say everyone's entitled to their opinion, and, he's the commissioner of the Big Ten Conference, and, I think that's probably why, him and Coach Alvarez are so adamant about not playing our level of football, I guess you would say. And, it's opportunities for young people to have experiences they wouldn't normally get, and, everyone has their reasons, but I probably should ask him, I don't know why.
Are you sorry to see the Big Ten FCS game?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. You got Northern Iowa up there that used to get a chance to play Iowa quite a bit. Western Illinois is playing Minnesota, I believe. Those are opportunities for kids that don't get a chance to play in front of 90 or 100,000 people and go against some other coaches, guys you see on ESPN all the time, and it's just a great experience for those kids, and we recruit to that too. That's a big thing in recruiting is about in Pennsylvania right now. We're trying to get a deal done, and to go back down and play in Heinz Field. That's a great experience for those kids. They grew up Steelers fans their whole life and have a chance to go play in Heinz Field. And if you're not good enough to go to Pitt, it's nice to at least be able to say you got a chance to go over there and play.
Is it annoying when he paints the FCS in just one big brush rather than maybe differentiating between a Tennessee Tech and a State?
Yeah, it hasn't frustrated me. I really don't even think about it. I think everybody has a chance nowadays to say what they want, and he's entitled to. He's the commissioner of the Big Ten Conference. So I don't know. It's just what he felt like he needed to say, and it doesn't frustrate me, the disparity between the two. It is what it is. Go play. You can only play 11 at a time.
Eric, there's a
Having
lot of
said-
there's a lot of Youngstown connections to this game. Obviously, Mike Tressel, Jim Bowman coached here, D'Antonio coached here. Just what's that mean to you?
I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I look back. I think Coach D'Antonio doesn't get enough credit, and obviously he's been credited for being a great head coach. But when he went to Cincinnati, he's the one that put that team together, had them rolling. And then how many guys came in? Brian Kelly came in after him, inherited a really good football team, which set it up for Butch Jones, who's now at Tennessee. Those guys probably should be giving Coach D a bonus check for setting the table for him. You know what I mean? And that's a compliment to him. And I knew when he was at Cincinnati, he did a great job. So I've watched him from afar. And then, I coached with Dave Warner at the University of Houston, who's their quarterback coach, co-offensive corner. Coach Bowman sat in Ursuline High School and tried to recruit me to come to Youngstown State. Tried to recruit Curtis Drummond. I can go down the line of recruiting battles with Pat Narduzzi on the road from years and years and years ago. So there's a lot of ties.
With Notre Dame on their schedule next, I'm going to ask it anyway. Maybe they're overlooking you guys because they got them coming up?
That's what everyone would like to say, you know what I mean? And that's probably the assumption, but I know this, they're good enough coaches up there that they'll have those players' attention. We're not going to sneak up on them this year like we did 2 years ago.
What's the expectation end result of this game for you guys on Saturday?
I don't make any predictions, but we expect to play well.
Last year, you guys, I think you went 3-0 after beating Pitt. What would a win on Saturday do for this team?
Well, I think it's obviously it'd be a big win in the fact that, we've probably never beaten a Big Ten team, obviously, and I think they're a really good football team. and they're well coached, and I think it would give us some confidence getting ready to, in a couple weeks to go into conference play. But, you know, we learned last year you can't get too high either. And really, today, we'll determine today if we're going to have an opportunity to play well on Saturday. And what that means is our preparation. You win or lose games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, you know, your preparation. So you can go out there and play fast and do what you're coached to do, you know.
Injury updates, Bellamy, Tevin.
Bellamy practiced yesterday. Tevin's good to go. Myers is still out. DeMonham's practiced yesterday. Can't think of anybody else. Peterman's been running around pretty good, looking pretty good. Other than that,
Demond practiced yesterday, or he looked
Yeah.
better yesterday?
they practiced yesterday.
Having said what you said in answer to various questions about FCS and Big Ten and all that, to what degree is this team physically prepared to do what the likes of North Dakota State has done this year and a couple of the other conference schools?
I think the biggest probably matchup you'll see on Saturday is going to be the line of scrimmage. You know, they've got some big old boys on their offensive line. You know, and over a course of 4 quarters, can you match up? Can you match their physical play? Coach D's he's about playing physical football on both sides of the ball. Same thing with their front 7 against our front, you know, on offense. Is can we physically match them for 70, 75 plays? You know, and that's gonna be the question. Can we physically match them? I like physical football. We talk about being physical all the time, and I think this is a really good test to see just how physical we are.